The police approached, guns drawn, accusing him of being involved in a recent robbery. Despite his protest of innocence, they arrested him. In the bustling city of Lagos, Christmas lights adorned the streets, casting a warm and festive glow over the bustling metropolis. The scent of celebration wafted through the air, mingling with the sounds of carolers and the laughter of children. Amidst this holiday cheer, a young taxi driver named Josh prepared for what he hoped would be a prosperous week before Christmas. With a smile on his face and dreams in his heart, he kissed his wife, Sua, and hugged his 3-year-old daughter, Nina, before stepping out into the twilight, determined to make enough money to give his family the joyous Christmas they deserved. Josh's taxi weaved through the crowded streets, picking up and dropping off passengers. Each fare brought him closer to the extra money he needed for his family's Christmas feast. The city was alive with energy, and Josh felt a sense of purpose as he navigated through the traffic. But fate, with its cruel sense of timing, had other plans. As Josh drove through a quiet alley, a piercing siren echoed behind him. Confused, he pulled over, thinking it was a routine check. The police approached, guns drawn, accusing him of being involved in a recent robbery. Despite his protest of innocence, they arrested him. Josh's heart sank. He knew nothing about the crime, but his words fell on deaf ears. He was hauled to a dingy cell, his pleas for justice ignored, and the festive spirit of the city seemed to mock his plight. Days turned into nights as Josh languished in jail. He had no money for a lawyer and no one to vouch for him. Each day felt like an eternity as he grappled with the despair of his situation. His mind wandered constantly to Sua and Nina, praying they were safe and managing without him. Sua, meanwhile, was struggling with her own demons. Loneliness gnawed at her, and the burden of providing for Nina without Josh's support weighed heavily on her shoulders. The once lively home felt empty and cold, and the joy of the upcoming holiday seemed to slip further away with each passing day. Desperation led Sua down a dark path. One evening, overwhelmed by her emotions and the relentless pressure, she sought solace in the arms of Josh's best friend, Emeka, who had always harbored feelings for her. They met in secret, and one illicit encounter turned into another. Emeka promised to help Sua, filling the void Josh's absence created. In those stolen moments, she forgot her sorrows, but the guilt never left her. Each time she returned home, the weight of her actions pressed down on her, yet she felt trapped in the cycle of her choices. One fateful afternoon, Sua, engrossed in her rendezvous with Emeka, left Nina alone in the park. When she returned, her heart froze. Nina was gone. Panic set in, and she screamed for help, but it was too late. Her precious child had vanished. The park, once a place of joy and laughter, now felt like a scene of her worst nightmare. The guilt that had been simmering now boiled over into sheer terror and regret. Josh received the news of Nina's disappearance like a hammer blow. Helpless behind bars, he wept, rage and despair battling within him. He imagined his daughter's sweet face, the joy she brought him, now lost because of Sua's negligence. His thoughts turned to vengeance, but he was trapped, a pawn in a game he didn't understand. The walls of his cell seemed to close in on him, suffocating his spirit as he yearned to be free, to find his daughter, to set things right. The police, seeing Josh's torment and perhaps driven by a newfound sense of duty, finally investigated his case properly. They discovered he was innocent, a victim of mistaken identity. But the damage was done. Josh walked out of the prison gates, a free man but with nothing left to return to. The world outside seemed both familiar and foreign, as if he had stepped into a different life altogether. Josh confronted Sua, his heart breaking at her betrayal. She fell to her knees, sobbing, begging for forgiveness. But the pain was too deep. His best friend had stolen his wife, and his daughter was missing because of their deceit. The man who had once been Josh's brother now stood as his worst enemy. The bonds of friendship and love had been shattered, leaving Josh to pick up the pieces of his fractured life. Determined to find Nina, Josh scoured the city, every little thread of hope in his dark world. Days turned into weeks, and he found himself on the verge of collapse. One night, he dreamed of Nina's laughter, her small hand in his. He woke with renewed resolve, the dream fueling his determination to find his daughter no matter the cost. He pushed forward, driven by a love that refused to die. Months passed, and the police finally found a lead. A child matching Nina's description was seen with a couple in a distant village. Josh raced there, his heart pounding. The journey felt like an eternity, but he was propelled by the hope of reuniting with his daughter. He found Nina in a small hut, her eyes wide with recognition when she saw him. They embraced, and for a moment, the world felt right again. The reunion was bittersweet, a beacon of light in his darkened world. Josh took Nina home, but the scars of the past lingered. He couldn't forgive Sua, and Emeka was banished from his life. The trust that had been broken could not be mended, and the pain of betrayal ran too deep. He devoted himself to raising Nina, vowing to protect her with every breath. His life had been irrevocably changed, but his love for his daughter remained a constant, guiding him through the darkness. In the end, Josh's spirit was a blend of resilience and sorrow. He had lost so much, but he held onto the love for his daughter as his beacon. His story, a tragic tale of love, betrayal, and the fight for justice, lingered in the hearts of those who heard it, a reminder of the harsh roads we sometimes travel and the strength it takes to keep moving forward. Through the pain and the trials, Josh's journey stood as a testament to the enduring power of a father's love and the unyielding human spirit.